Extremely sorry. Due to some technical issue, my laptop stopped its working. Am I audible? So is that is mean the project has to be completed within the specific period of time, and it has to be to control all the necessary resources. It has to complete budgetary control, then human resources, then financial risk, operational risk. It has to cover all the factors that will influence the project. Now, why there is a need to go for the project analysis? Because it is very much essential that the project has to be completed within the given period of time with all the given resources that are available at the starting of the project, and when the project will finish, it will complete its duration, it has to be considered as a measured or desired outcome by the client requirement. So we will go for project analysis. So when executing a project, you need to analyze it periodically, because project is short term, medium term, or long term. So it has to be monitored, it has to be evaluated periodically. So failing to do so, if we are not able to monitor or to analyze the project periodically, it would mean unexpected challenges, overlook critical information, or flaws in the work process that manifest as the project unfolds. So, this is why we need to do the project analysis. So, when during execution of the project, each and every step during project, it has to be analyze first. Either it is fulfilling all the requirement according to the expectations of client requirement or not. It has to be taken into consideration. So project analysis is the assessment of every expense or problem related to a project prior to the commencement of work on it. So after evaluating the profitability of a project, the selection process is undertaken. So during project analysis, it is the assessment, means either every expense, whatever the um, budgetary amount has given for a particular project, that has to be criticized or that can be evaluated after analysis. Either the amount, either the research, either the human resources, either the every step of the project, or either the project is making profitable or it is going in loss. It has to be measured, and after that selection process is undertaken. So what is the important next is importance of project analysis. So a study conducted last year, so the researcher has shown that the two-third of all projects were not completed on time and went over budget. See, this is too important part of any project, that it must be completed within the specific period of time, and it must not cross the budgetary control. So these two parameters, the researchers went for the research study, that but it has revealed that two-third of the project, all projects were not completed on the time and with the considered budget. So what separates the failed two-thirds of the project from successful one-third? That is regular analysis. If we are not going for the regular analysis during ongoing the project process, then it will make the project for failure, as it is not having the regular analysis with the steps what is going on in the project. So project analysis lets to see the present problems and prepare for and avoid future problems. So if we are going with analysis, project regular periodical project analysis, then it will be able to observe that what type of problems are there. It will make us prepare for and avoid the future problems, means we can control on the challenges, we can overcome the challenges whatever they are occurring during the project completion phase, because a regular analysis will help us to evaluate, to monitor all the steps. Yesterday we have monitoring and evaluation of the project. So that monitoring and project analysis will help monitoring and evaluation for the duration of the project. So it ensures smooth project execution and timely project delivery, because that project analysis will provide that the execution process is happening according to the desired plan, and it will give sure that the project will timely deliver to the timely deliver to the customer, or to the desired practices. So, for efficient project analysis, it is equally important to have the right tool that will help to monitor and analyze the project from its initiation to completion. There are four stages from project to complete, that initiation stage up to completion stage. So, to cross all these 4 to 5 stages during project, it has to manage, it is becoming mandatory to analyze the project periodically, because for efficient project, and because if the project could be completed with efficient and effective manner, it is very necessary and it is equally important to have the right tool that will help to monitor and analyze the project. Because if we are not going with the right tools and techniques to analyze the project, it is not possible to control these two factors, which is the time constraint and which is the cost constraint, budgetary constraint. So to analyze these main two factors, we have to analyze the project regularly. So next we will see what are the stages in the project analysis. What stages are covered during project analysis? It is very important to know that how project analysis is going with which type of stages, what are the needed steps that has to be taken into consideration. So first is project identification, second is project formulation, third one is market and demand analysis, fourth one is technical analysis, fifth one is economic and financial analysis, then social cost benefit analysis. So one by one, every stage we will discuss the elaborately. So first is project identification. So it is very important step in project formulation, because before project formulation you have to identify project first. So a project is conceived with the objective of meeting the market demand, exploiting natural resources, creating wealth. Any project, for example, we are taking, there are transportation project, construction of highway, broad highway, then means whatever the project is going on, it has to be considered when either the project is meeting the market demand, because before starting of any project, MRA is very essential, that is market research analysis. If we are going with market research analysis with the project formulation, then it will reveal that how much market demand for that particular project. And when during processing of the project, some projects are going with means for industrialization and urbanization, we are cutting down so many acres of forest, that we are exploiting our natural resources, then creating wealth. Means by exploitation of our natural resources on the planetary earth, we are creating our own wealth. But it has to be taken into consideration that sustainable development is the part that every nation, every country is focusing on the when any project is going to complete. So generally development projects come from national planning, industrial projects come from identification of commercial prospects and profit potential. So projects are introduced in order to achieve certain objectives. There may be several alternative projects that will meet these objectives. Means there are certain subsidiary projects also to help the main project also. So when now when the project identification is done, any national planning, if now developing country and underdeveloped country and developed country are also going with the execution of projects, so they are going, that project is identified with the national planning for the national growth, for economic growth, then industrial project for their commercial prospect and profitability. Mainly industry is profit orientation, means industrial project are having the main objective to gain the profit only. So they are not bothered about the sustainability, they are not bothered about the natural exploitation. So it has to be taken into consideration. Most of the projects are introduced to achieve another objective, certain objective. So it is necessary to mention all the other alternatives with justification in favor of specific project proposed for consideration. So it should be taken into consideration that justification should be given, that if we are utilizing or if we are exploiting the natural resources, then it is the our moral and ethical responsibility with the project. Those companies are going with the project, it is their moral responsibility to reconstruct the natural resources, to reconstruct or to maintain the sustainable development during their project execution. So this is the project identification. Next is project formulation. Now project formulation involves the following steps. First is opportunity studies, support studies, identification of product or service, pre-feasibility study, means it is the early stage analysis of potential mining projects. So these studies are conducted by small team and designed to give company stakeholder the basic information they need to green light a project or choose between the potential options. Then feasible study, project appraised, detailed project report. So when now it is a second stage after project identification on such by the nation or by the company or by the industry. Next stage is project formulation. So project formulation also involves various sub steps. So first is opportunity study or support study, identification of the which product or service that has to be launched or that has to be completed within the specific period of time during the project launching. So it has to be considered. Then pre-feasibility study means it has to be considered. The study can be done, it is done by small team and are designed to give company stakeholders the basic information, means investors and all the key stakeholders, funders. So all they need the basic information in which they are going to invest in a project. So there is need to do the pre-feasibility study, and in pre-feasibility study what company or what the organization is doing, the organization is forming a small team and designed to give the company basic information. So they need to greenlight a project or choose between potential investment. So every stakeholders, every investor, every funder must know the basic information in which they are going to invest their money, their efforts, their all the essentials, and they should get the basic information when what is the project of about, what the product or service they are going to launch, what benefit they will get, what margin of profit they will get, how the project will work, what period it will take. So all these necessary basic information should be revealed by the organization to the stakeholders. Then feasibility study is done. Then project appraiser, detailed project report before going to start actual project. That small teams prepare some project report, detailed project report, and with that project report involving all these things, they are going to give the basic report to the investors and stakeholders. So an opportunity study identifies investment opportunity. So first is opportunity study, means what the stakeholders or what the investors, funders are going to invest their amount. They will study the opportunity study. That means how identify the investment opportunity, how what is the opportunity for their investment. So a pre-feasibility study is regarded intermediate state between project opportunity study and detailed feasibility study. So it is means to arrive an investment decision, means after after pre-feasibility study, the investors and funders get all the basic information, and then they will decide either should I invest in the project or not. So they will take more crystal clear decision of, on the basis of the information provided by pre-feasibility study. So the feasibility study focuses on market and demand analysis, technical analysis, economic and financial analysis, social cost benefit analysis. So these factors are responsible for project formulation, so that the investors or stakeholders should become aware that which is the market demand analysis, technical analysis, all this basic information is given or it is formulated during the project formulation. Next is market and demand analysis. Now, in market and demand analysis, it aims to assessing the potential sales revenue from a proposed project. So it is also known as market feasibility study. So what is the approach to um, go conduct the market feasibility study? It will type of, that is whatever the example I have taken. In case of a novel product idea, a market feasibility check has to be based on indicators of buyer behavior in terms of their response to new or dream project for estimating potential demand. Now, if some project is launching something different idea, innovative idea that is not already existed in the market, and the investor must and investor should know that whether this idea will work for me, or whether this investment will make profit for me or not. So it has to be taken into consideration estimating the potential demand for the product. If a proposed Next is, if a proposed product as is a new and in economy, it is successfully marketed in some other country economy, its market feasibility is assessed through meaningful comparison of some broad economic and cultural indicators in the two economy. Means here, if some product is launched in India and some other product, same project or product is launched in South Africa or in other country, XYZ country, then it must be studied that whether the product will be get the high market demand in India also and in other two economies. So there will be a comparison, because market and demand analysis will help the project to make it profitable or not. Next is per capita income. So income disparity level, pattern indicating shift in choice for consumption, literacy level, and such other economic factors can indicate the potential of demand for a particular proposed product. So now this is also per capita income. Purchasing triple P, that is purchasing power parity of every nation is different. Means underdeveloped countries are having low triple P, that is purchasing power parity, while on the in other hand, the developed countries are having higher purchase parity or per capita income. So there are so many economic factors that which will responsible to make a product or project profitable or loss, because income disparity level will be there, then consumption choice for consumption, then literacy level, and some other economic factors such as their cultural difference, then climatic conditions of the region, geographic conditions, then multi-diversity conditions. So climatic conditions are different. So if that whatever the product is going to launch or whatever the project is going to complete, so stakeholders should consider that if I'm launching the product in India, so it will be feasible in other economy or other country, so that the profit of margin will be increased by investing in the particular project. Next is, if the proposed project is for addition in the capacity existing in the economy, the task of market feasibility study will be historical data analysis and study of factors which influence consumption trends. So if the proposed product in the capacity existing in the economy, so it has to be taken into consideration that task of market feasibility study will be historical data analysis and study of factors which influence the consumption rate. Because today, whatever the economy, total whole world economy is dynamic. After pandemic, we are facing such dynamism in global economy in all over the world, because there is sudden change, sudden change in consumption of the products in the by the consumers also. There is a sudden change in the standard of living of the products or consumers also. So it is taken into consideration that feasibility market feasibility study will be taken into consideration while investing the product or while doing for market and demand analysis for a particular project or product or service in the particular economy. Next step is technical analysis. Now, technical analysis is always dynamic field. Technically, while initiating a project, it must be ensured that the required equipment know how is available with the entrepreneur. So, technical analysis establish whether a project is technically feasible or not. Adaptability to the change. It must be considered when any organization is working on a particular project. So, technical analysis will help that adaptability, that changing or that acceptance of change in the technology. So other type of analysis are clearly connected with technical analysis. So there may be two or more alternative technologies available for manufacturing product service. For example, so soap can be manufactured either by semi-boiled process or by the fully boiled process. So similarly, cement can be made either by dry process or the wet process. So technically, whatever the technical is there, issue is there. So choice of technology is governed by variety of considerations. So these are as follows. So plant capacity is there, principal inputs are there, investment outlay, production costs used by other units, product mix, latest development, case of absorption. So when during technical analysis, when project analysis is done, so technically every project should be depend on the factors which are considered as plant capacity. Either if suddenly demand rises, then the plant capacity should have extended capacity. If sudden demand is rising of the product for the product, then the existing plant should have that provision that it can be extended or it can extend the manufacturing capacity. Then principal inputs, whatever the inputs required to process from raw material to the finished good, it must be considered. Then investment outlay, so investment should be there so that that production cost should be maintained in other units. Then product mix is there, latest developments. Case of latest development means technical latest technological changes can be adoptable by technical analysis. If means, for example, previously it was all the machineries were manually, semi manually, but after CNC machine, that is computer numerical control machine, then this is a drastic change. Suddenly we are facing artificial intelligence and machine learning era. So this is the technical change that every organization has to adopt, and it has to be work on that, and it has to be accepted according to the changing environment. So next is methods of production which are suitable to local economic, social, and cultural conditions are preferred to appropriate technology. So during implementation of technological change or technological analysis, it is also considered that local economic means whatever we have seen that purchasing power parity of the economy, how what is the per capita income of the citizen of the nation, social cultural conditions are there, means if the socially people are accepting the changes or not. Then cultural differences are taken into consideration. So, profounders of appropriate technology, that technology should evaluate it in terms of following questions. So, some questions are there during technological analysis because it is very essential during the era of technical, because we are in the era of Industry 5.0. So, whether the technology utilizes local raw materials, whether the technology utilizes local manpower, whether the goods and services produced cater to the basic needs, then whether the technology protects ecological balance. See, Industry 5.0 means we have to be accept the technological change, but with sustainable development, with green means we have to taken care of our nature also. So whether the technology protects ecological balance or not, whether the technology is harmonious with social and cultural conditions, means either the innovations or either the innovative products creativity comes, it will fulfill with harmoniously, or it is working with harmoniously of social and cultural conditions. So it should be considered, these questions should be considered when we are going with the technical analysis during the project development. So satisfactory arrangement must be made to obtain the technical know-how needed for the proposed manufacturing process. So it has to be taken into consideration. Next stage is economic and financial analysis. Now, before any financial analysis is carried, four basic decisions that must be taken into place. So, four decisions are period of analysis, financing, mixed decision, cutoff criterion, and evaluation of investment proposal. Because economic and financial analysis will help the project analysis to avoid the sudden changes in the budget, and it will avoid the sudden increase in the budget of the project. It will avoid also operational risk and financial risk, so that the project will be completed during the decided budget, and it will become more beneficial, it will create more benefit or profit for the organization during the completion of the project. So one by one, we will see that is period of analysis. So period of forecast is a matter of company's policy based on consideration of factors like product life cycle, business cycle, rate of change in technology, test, managerial ability to foresee in the future, and database available to support the forecast. So it is very necessary to take on into consideration into product life cycle. So now here product life cycle, we know that product life cycle going for four stages, that is introduction of product in the market, then it goes with the growth stage, then after growth stage it will come to maturity level, and after that maturity product is coming at decline stage. Now, when the product life cycle is completed, when the product is at the decline stage, either the product must be removed from the market, or either at the decline stage, the new features or innovative features should be added in the existing product, and again the product life cycle can be started with adding new values in the existing product. So like that, if during financial analysis it is very essential to keep eye on the product life cycle. Then business cycle, rate of exchange in technology, rate of change in technology, that we have taken already the example that everyone now utilizing artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now the metaverse is there, virtual reality, augmented reality, there are so many virtual platforms that businesses are providing. So there is a rapid change in technology. And test, managerial ability, either the manager or either the leader or the organization leader is having that vision to see the forecast, to see the future of the company, or to see the future after 5 years, 10 years, where my product will be or where should I start. That should be analysis will be there, and database available to support the forecasting, because forecasting is very important part. Either your organization or either your project will launch some beneficial product or not, it has to be taken into consideration during period of analysis. So IT projects typically can be planned for about 3 years due to technological development. Means, for example, if information technology sector is going to launch the project, then it is taken into consideration that it should be planned for short period of time, as there is a lot of changes and there is a lot of technological advancement development in the existing technologies. So it has to be considered as an unpredictable future for long term um, product launching. So it has to be considered for IT products or IT services. It should be for 3 years only. So short life product life cycle will be there. Uncertainty caused by the low entry barrier. So if any other advanced technology, means Java, Linux, now they are thrown outside the market. Now C++, Python with R, these are the latest advanced technology. Power BI software is there. Means what? There are continuously changes in the information technology sector product service. So it has to be taken into consideration. Project report for the purpose of loans will be prepared for the period of loan. So this limits the life of a forecast. Then time valued based evaluation techniques are sensitive to cut off rate and length of time. So periodical analysis we are going with this. So length of time and their results become less relevant for decision making with the increasing span of time in analysis. For example, now we are working now developed countries are working on the automatic car without driver they are working on. Some companies are working on flying car so that the cars can fly with the speed. Some cars are means some metro 5G 10G and 10G internet speed is there. So there is a vast technological changes within a very short period of time. So that time constraint is very essential. So if the length of analysis is less than approximate project life, so it is appropriate to forecast and resale value of all assets. So when your project is considered for short term period, so it has to be taken consideration of periodic analysis. And so the analysis of project, it is very essential during on the basis of period or time. So next is financing mix decisions. So at this stage, financial mix and cost, the firm might not have raised capital for financing the project. So mix decision has three purpose that investigating the effect of new project financing on the company's capital structure. So sometimes capital intensive project may not be feasible if it may result into a very high debt as the only possible way of financing the project. Second purpose, approximating the cost of each type of new fund that will be raised for financing the new project. And third decision is approximating the weighted average cost of capital which can be used in deriving the cutoff rate required for accepting the new project. So when we are going for financing mixed decision, these three purposes has to be taken into consideration while investigating effect of new project financing on the company's capital structure. If the company wants to launch any product in totally new, then company has to take into consideration its financial capacity. If either the company is bearable or not, it has taken to consideration. Then cost of each type of new fund that will raise for financing the new project. So whatever the investors and funders will invest in the new project of the company, that has taken into consideration. So weighted cost average capital method should be used, which can be used in deriving the cutoff rate required for accepting the new project. Next is cutoff criterion. Now cutoff decision is a benchmark against which the project cash flow stream is compared to determine the whether the project would remain its financial goal. Next is a cutoff rate is sometimes called go on go criterion, hurdle rate or required rate of return. So if time, third one is if time value based evaluation techniques are used, the cutoff rate will be determined on the basis of cost of capital. So for the other techniques where time value concept is not used, the appropriate cutoff must be decided. And fifth one is there is a general belief that one has to use the cost of capital at the cutoff point when time value based techniques are used. So this is the cutoff criterion that has to be taken into consideration while taking the financial decision of the project analysis. So cutoff criteria must be decided during the project analysis because beyond which that rate or cutoff price should not go. Otherwise, there will be financial risk may occur during the execution of the project. Next is evaluation of investment proposal. So there are many techniques for evaluation of investment proposals. Some focuses on capital recovery, some measure profitability, some take into account the time value of money. So for example, a project for establishing a new market territory may be evaluated on the basis of accounting rate of return, but replacement of machines on the basis of net present value. Means now evaluation of investment proposals, how it can be done. So many techniques are there. Some focuses on capital recovery, means whatever the investment or capital that is invested during the project, it should be recovered. Whatever I am return on investment should be there. What is the amount the investment by the company or organization in a for a particular product or project, it has to be recovered. Some major profitability means some always there is a business orientation to make a profit only, so they are focusing to major profits only. Some taken into time value for money, means the project should complete within the specific period of time, and it should be worth for the value that has to be invested during the start of project up to the uh, finish closure part of the particular project. So for example, now a project for establishing new market territory. If new market territory, it has been decided that it has been evaluated on the basis of accounting rate of return, but replacement of machine means rate of investment there, what is the rate of return on the investment of the particular amount in the present net value. So, an appropriate evaluation technique is one that may be justifiably applied to given investment proposal for the attainment of financial and non-financial goals within the constraint in which the firm operates. So, when appropriate, this is the second example they have means we have taken that evaluation technique is that justifiably applied to given investment proposal. Whatever the amount invested by the stakeholders or by the funders, it has to be considered that it should give return and it should be evaluated on the basis of that particular return on investment of a particular project. So it has to be taken into consideration. Social cost benefit analysis. Now, in this, social cost benefit analysis is a systematic and cohesive economic method to survey all the impacts caused by urban development project. So it comprises not just the financial effects, that is investment cost, direct benefit like tax and fees, but all the social effects like pollution, safety, indirect labor, market, then legal aspect. The means now social cost benefit analysis, if some project is going on, so when during project analysis it is taken into consideration that the project not only focuses on financial benefits or financial effects, but it also affects it should also affect the social issues of the environment like pollution, safety, indirect labor market, legal aspect. The main of social cost benefit analysis is to attach a price to as many effects as possible in order to uniformly weigh the above heterogeneous effects. So two principal approaches for SCBA emerged, that is UNIDO approach and the other is LM approach. So whether the project is social benefited or whether the project is having social effectiveness, then whether the project is your economic friendly, environment friendly, it has very much importance during these days, because to maintain the sustainability growth with economy as well as protection of environment, it is very crucial part during this, because we are facing so many pollution issues, we are facing so many global issues like global warming, sudden climatic changes in every nation, then the temperature of the earth is rising. So all these factors are responsible towards the destruction of the planetary earth. So it has to be taken into consideration that social cost benefit analysis is having that much importance during the project analysis. So this is what UNIDO approach measures cost and benefit in terms of domestic rupees. So LM approach measures cost and benefit in terms of international prices. So that UNIDO approach measures cost and benefits in terms of consumption, while the LM approach measures cost and benefit in terms of uncommitted social income. And stage by stage analysis recommended by UNIDO approach focuses on efficiency, savings, the redistribution consideration in different stages. So LM approach tends to view these considerations together. Now, why this is important? Because UNIDO means United Nations Industrial Development Organization. So this is the approach where it cost and benefit in terms of domestic rupees. While LM approach is the approach which is considered that is little Mirli's approach. It requires shadow prices to denote the real value of a resource to the society. Means it is the numerator that is present in uncommitted social income. So social cost benefit analysis will helpful to analyze or to give either the this LM approach gives the real value of a resource to the society. So stage by stage analysis recommended by UNIDO approach focuses on the efficiency, savings, and redistribution. How efficient project is working, how savings is done, and how redistribution considerations at different stages are considered. So this approach will help the project analysis. Either they should go for the social cost benefit analysis or not. And next, last step that has to be considered after completing the stages of project analysis, project completion report should be submitted. So once the project is terminated or handed over to the operation team, a project review is undertaken. So end result of the project review is the preparation of project completion report. So a project completion report, that is the document that would give a comparison of the actual cost and the time with the originally budgeted ones. The reasons for deviations are recorded. Means if the project is not completed within given specific period of time in given budgetary control system, then the project report will provide the details which what is the actual time it has taken to complete and what actual expenditure has been done for the completion of the project. And if there is a variation during the time, or if there is a variation in the budget of the project, finished project, the deviations are recorded with given justification answer. So initial scope and the level of its attainment are also documented with observations upon them. So the degree of attainment of goal is also recorded in the project completion report. Either the goal of project has been attended or not. Either the objective of the project has been attended or not. With all this, it is briefly or it is in detail explained in the project completion report, that is PCR. So it is usually quite detailed and informative. The contents of a project completion report may vary depending on the type of project and the perceived benefits from project review activity. So when during preparation of PCR, each and every detail, minute detail can be explained. It has to be explained in the PCR with justified answer, or with you the proof and evidences why, if the project is not completed within the specific period time, if the project is not completed within the budgetary control, it has to be mentioned all the details, all the evidences. So by now we will conclude the first topic, that is project analysis. So it is a critical for companies and project managers to make their projects more successful and sustainable. While it is evident that problems and challenges will come your way, you can keep things under control with the right tool and approach. because project completion or project analysis, it is a very critical step for companies and project manager, because the success or failure of the project is depending on the project analysis. Either the project, if the project analysis is done within a specific period of time, within the given time constraint, within the available resources, avoiding all the delays, then it is considered that the project is more successful and sustainable. Now, if the project is not providing any exploitation to the natural resources, it is not providing any harm to the society, it is not providing any harm to the social social ethics values and all that, it has to be taken into consideration, then the sustainability, then the success of the project is considered. So it is evident that problems and challenges, it it doesn't matter if someone or if any organization is completing on a particular project, there may be challenges, there may be problems that will come um, in the project analysis. So that things should be kept under the control with the right tool and approach, right tool approach with the right attitude, problem solving ability, risk taking ability. So if the sudden contingency problems are there, sudden challenges are there, the problem, the project analysis should provide the right tool and approach to solve the problem which is occurring during the project analysis. So thank you very much for patient listening. I'm very much thankful to the organizer also, and you have given me the opportunity. Next session will be taken by another faculty. So I'm requesting the organizer to hand over next session for the next faculty, so that the seminar will be continued. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm requesting to the organizer that they should hand over for the next session to the next respected faculty member or speaker. With your permission, I'm taking your leave. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Brother George Kapiri. Brother George, good afternoon. Unmute your mic, Brother George. I can't hear you.
Okay, let me do this. Hello.
Hello,
can you
Brother
hear me
George.
now?
How are you?
Fine, and you?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. How are you?
I'm okay, sir.
All right, I'm equally fine.
Okay, fine.
How is the class going?
It's so.
Okay.
Sure.
We are waiting for the next speaker.
Okay, fine. I understand. I heard it from the previous speaker, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, Benson.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Is this not going to be a repeat of yesterday?
It looks like, eh?
It looks like so.
I wonder what is happening, eh?
These guys.
What happened yesterday? Did you come to 18 hours?
It is like they have only one facilitator. No.
This is, I don't know what is happening, eh?
But the left, I also left.
No, again,
Hello?
there's no communication to tell us who's coming afterward.
Not at all.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Yesterday.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
How
afternoon,
are you?
everyone. Fine, thank
If you don't mind.
Sorry, I was just checking the communication that has been made via the WhatsApp platform by Derek. So it says the next presenter is coming in 10 minutes. We hope it's done as communicated to.
Okay.
All right, better that way.
Let's wait
Thank
and
you.
see.
Okay, thanks. We shall wait for 10 minutes.
Mr. George, you can remove your video if you don't mind.
Okay, fine.
You may end up showing us something unshowable.
Okay, I understand. I think it's off now. Hello.
How are you, Mr. George?
I'm fine, and you, boss? How are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, your surname Kapiri. Are you in Malawi?
Yes. Yes, I'm a Malawian.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm also in Malawi. Currently
Okay.
based in Kasongo.
Okay,
Eh,
I'm at Nchisi now.
Okay.
Yeah, just kilometers from where you are.
You are my neighbor.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's wait for these people. Let's see what they are
Okay.
going to do.
Okay, sir.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm in Blantyre,
Hello,
Malawi.
brother Makoa.
You are in Blantyre?
Yes.
Yeah, fine.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Jant.
Yes, brother Mark. Is it Makoa? Makoa?
Makoa.
Oh, okay.
Marco.
Good afternoon, brother Makoa. How are you?
I'm fine and you?
No, I'm all right. Thank you. Me, I'm a Zambian. I'm your brother from Zambia, from Lusaka.
Now I can hear your tongue.
And never.
Yeah.
I have
You
a
are able to
friend
tell that
in
this one is a Zambian.
I have
Yeah.
a friend in Rundazi.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, as Zambians, we are able to tell those from Zimbabwe,
Mhm.
those from Kenya, those from Nigeria, those from even Malawi are able to tell.
Yeah.
So sometimes I tend to wonder, what about us? Are people able to tell us this one is from Zambia just from the tongue?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even if we meet face by face, we can
Your
tell you
tongue
that you are a Zambian.
your tongue details.
Okay.
Sure.
Zambia and Malawi, we are just almost the same. Our
Yeah,
culture, our lifestyle of living, our borders are almost,
Open.
we are just
Very
almost the
open.
same.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? Sometimes even names found in Zambia are also found in Malawi.
Exactly. You have Piris there, we have Piris here.
Exactly.
You have the bandas there, we have the bandas here.
Even Chanda here.
In Malawi, we have
There's
Chandas.
no Chanda there.
Oh, so many.
So many.
We have lots of them.
Seriously?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, brother
Even
George,
villages
where are
of
you? Where are you? Blantyre or Lilongwe?
I'm in Nchisi now.
Where is Nchisi?
Nchisi is in Central Region.
Okay, I haven't been to
yeah.
Malawi, so I
Okay.
don't know where Nchisi is.
No. It's just a certain district that is located some kilometers from Lilongwe.
Is the training over?
No, it's on. We are waiting for the facilitator.
The second one.
Yeah, second one is will be coming in 10 minutes. So we are waiting for her, maybe her or him.
But those of you who were here yesterday, there's only one trainer who did for 1 hour, and we were told there was a communication breakdown, and that is how I left. I don't know. Did the training continue up to 18 hours? I'm not too sure. Probably we may have missed out something.
I wasn't here yesterday. This is my first day, so I think if others are in the better place to tell you that.
Hello.
Brother Chongo, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Me, I'm fine, Brother Chongo. Is my brother Chongo from Zambia?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Which part of Zambia, sir?
Right now I'm in the capital, but I'm based in Kabwe.
Oh, okay. I'm also in the capital in Osaka.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Good. Pleased to meet you, sir, as well. Huh? I just saw the name. This one we are together here.
Indeed, we are, sir. Including Mr. Chifita.
Oh, including Mr. Chifita. Okay. I could tell the name. Yes, Mr. Chifita. Good
Even
afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chifita. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, and you, sir?
We are better, sir. Thank you. Which part
Nice
of
to
Zambia
hear.
are you? Where are you, sir?
I'm in Ndola.
Oh, Ndola, my hometown. I was born
Oh,
and grown up in Ndola.
that's good to hear.
Which part of Ndola, sir?
I'm in Mapanza.
It's not Mapanza, it's Mapanza.
Oh, if you come from Southern Province, that's how you pronounce it.
Including, if I'm not mistaken, this Monica Makoa. I think this should be Zambian.
Yeah, others they are in Zambia, but currently here in Malawi, in the southern parties where these parents where came from.
Good morning. I'm audible.
Hello, hi.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
You are very much audible, Mr. Oja.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Now we will start our class in one or 2 seconds. Can you see the presentation? Hello?
Not yet.
Can you see it now?
Yes, we can now see it.
Yes.
One second.
Yes.
Visible now.
One second. Okay. So good morning, everyone. That is a technical glitch. Thank you for being here. And my name is Anohar, and I will be handling the monitoring and evaluation planning session for the next 1 hour. Thank you for here. For now, we will start with monitoring, evaluation, planning. Are you able to chat here? Okay. Okay. Do one. Okay, fine. So for our agenda for today is introduction to monitoring and evaluation. The second will be we'll be discussing about key concepts. Third one will be benefits and monitoring and evaluation. Our fourth step will be planning process. Our next one will be challenges and solutions, and the last, best practices. So I would like to know what is monitoring and evaluation according to you. Kindly put your suggestions on the chat box so that I can also look into it. What according to you is monitoring and evaluation? Please have a chat for 1 or 2 minutes.
We don't have access to most of us do not have access to the chats because we've joined as guests.
Okay, fine. Okay, sorry. Okay, 1 second. Thank you for informing me. So
I can't access the chat, sir.
okay. So we will be starting our session with a story about monitoring and evaluation. Actually, there is an NGO named 1 second. Okay, Eco Harvest, which is in Africa, and they are specialized agency in cropping and farming, and they have a definite program for farmers so that they introduce the specialized type of farming in different parts of Africa. And they want to increase the crop. They want to increase the harvest rate. They want people to get employment. They want to, flourish farming among the farmers. New farming techniques were introduced. And the most important aspect about this eco harvest is that their leaders were very concerned about the results, because it will take nearly 6 to 1 year for us to do some farming in an area. So they had specialized team for monitoring and evaluation. And what they did was they on daily basis met all the farmers, introduced the new techniques through workshops, making follow-ups. In 3 months of time, they got a report from the monitoring and evaluation team that about 60 to 70% of the farmers are performing excellent, and 30% of the farmers was not able to handle the new techniques, and they had found some reasons behind this. One was there were a shortage in water. The next one is farmers were not able to handle the new technique. They were used to the old technique of farming. They are not used to the new technique. So what they did in the next 1 or 2 months is that they revamped their program so that they can accommodate the rest 30 of the farmers. And in a matter of 6 months, what Eco Harvest has done is they could make 100% result from their farming technology. This is only possible through the effort of the monitoring and evaluation team. So this story actually gives us a point that we need monitoring and evaluation in every aspects of our life. It may be project management, it may be humanitarian concepts, or it may be something else. But monitoring and evaluation is needed in our day-to-day life. So I actually, I was planned, to give some chat questions and answers from your side, but as you had informed me that you don't have access to the chat box, so I have to take back some questions which has been ready with. Still, I will ask the question so that it will give a spark in your life. What is your current understanding about monitoring and evaluation? As we plan a project, we fix the objectives or end results, what we want to achieve in a matter of 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years' time. But for continuous monitoring, we need a team. So for different organizations, they have different roles. For project management, humanitarian aspects, business, every organization need to have a monitoring and evaluation program so that they can achieve their objectives in the given period of time. But we can't start a monitoring evaluation at the end of a program. We need it from the start itself. As we plan the project itself, we need to have a project management team who may handle this monitoring and evaluation on a day-to-day basis, so that then only we can, because the market is changing, climate may change, the world is changing, so we need to have a definite program for monitoring and evaluation so that we can understand the challenges, what are the things we need to change in our monitoring evaluation plan, how we can achieve our objectives, our organization goals in the given matter of time. So, to me, steering projects towards their intended objects. Monitoring and evaluation means steering projects towards their intended objects. So, we actually, at its core time, monitoring and evaluation is a systematic process that can implement things in a quick matter of time. So we will move to our next slide. There are a lot of definitions about monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring is an ongoing systematic collection and analysis of data that track the progress, while evaluation is a systematic assessment that analyzes the project design, implementation, and outcome, and help in the decision making of the organizational learning. Now, this slide brings us to the introduction of monitoring and evaluation. For that, we need to understand major two things. How we will understand monitoring and evaluation. And the second one is, why does monitoring and evaluation matter to us? How it is related to us, how it matters us. It's a real life question. When we understand the answers of these questions, then only we can move forward with the monitoring and evaluation. So understanding is the core of the whole program. Monitoring and evaluation is a systematic progress that is beyond implementation phase. And it's a collection of analysis, interpretation of data to help the organization to make informed decisions and achieve organizational goals. That is what is known as understanding of monitoring and evaluation. If someone asks what is your understanding about monitoring evaluation means, it happens like, it's a line of things. It is the data of ongoing process of the company which help the organizational head or leaders to take decisions on a live data which can help the organization to achieve or alter its plan according to the needs of the organization. That is the point number one. Point number two is, why does monitoring and evaluation matter to us? In a complex situation of project management, monitoring and evaluation plays a greater role of accountability, transparency, and overall project development. So, it's a guiding tool. Monitoring and evaluation is actually a guiding tool for every one of us, and it gives valuable insights. What is happening, real time happening. When we plan a project, we have a lot of dreams, aspects in our mind. But when the monitoring and evaluation reports comes in, we have the real time aspects of what is happening in the real world, what is happening to our planning, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities which we face. All aspects can be seen only through monitoring and evaluation. If we don't have a monitoring evaluation team, then we are not able to find problems which the company or the organization is facing or going to face in the future. We don't have any plan A, plan B, or plan C. So we need to have a monitoring and evaluation team to help us reach our organizational goals. Next slide. The importance. Now we have to discuss about the importance of monitoring and evaluation. I have given some points here. The first one is enhanced accountability and transparency. Point number two is improved decision making. Point number three, increase efficiency and effectiveness. Next point is facilitates learning and knowledge sharing. Suppose we think of a situation where an organization has put forward a project and the top management is not able to find what is happening there. It means there is no transparency. When they call up the line managers, what line managers is reporting is not according to the project reports or according to what the plan is executed. Here comes the monitoring evaluation. Because if a company fails to have accountability and transparency in its project, that project will fail. So when we do a monitoring and evaluation, the people, line managers or the field officers or anyone who is working on the project will be accountable. That is point number one. Second one is it brings transparency into the system. If there is no monitoring and evaluation, there will not be any transparency. That's quite sure. But sometimes it may happen, maybe 1% or 2%, but we can't say every time it happens that there will be pure transparency and pure accountability in a company if there is no check-in programs. So enhanced accountability and transparency is one of the most important aspects of monitoring and evaluation. Accountability is essential for ensuring transparency. If we need to make a person accountable, then only transparency will be applicable. If we are not able to find a person who is accountable, there will not be any transparency happening in the company. So once a line manager or a field officer becomes accountable, what will happen is there will be real-time execution of task which is given to them. Suppose we have a sales manager who is given a target of managing a team of 20 or 30 persons. If he is not accountable to anyone, he will be simply sitting there. Nothing will happen. If he is accountable to his supervisor or regional manager, he will be responsible for daily activities. Otherwise, he will be sleeping somewhere there. So, accountability and transparency are interrelated, and it aims to bring in transparency. The second one is informed decision making. What is means informed or improved decision making? If we are not getting real-time data from the market or from the field or from the project, what will happen? The decision makers will decide as per the plan they made. If they are getting real-time data about what is happening, they can look into the matter, where are the flows happen, what are the things happen, how they can bring back the wrong aspects which happened, or they want to push more task into the system. Everything can be made only when we have real-time data for decision making. There is a real-time data informs timely and informed decisions through a continuous monitoring and identifying issues and facilitates correction. That's an important point. When we have real-time data, we will be able to facilitate course correction. We can make changes in our plans. The third point is increased efficiency and effectiveness. How a monitoring and evaluation team can bring in efficiency and effectiveness? It can be done by implementing strategies such as process automation, employee training, continuous improvement initiatives, effective communication channels, and adopting advanced technologies to make work happen. If we are using old technologies, we are using old techniques, our efficiency will be in trouble. We can't compete our competitors, or we can't make things happen in the real time. Suppose we are given to complete a project in 1 year. If we are using old techniques, old machinery, what will happen is we can't save time. We will need to have excess time if something happens. We can't take for plan B or plan C. Now, the next point is it facilitates learning and knowledge sharing. What is meant by learning and knowledge sharing? Because when a monitoring and evaluation team comes back with a real-time data, what will happen is there will be new things to learn and new knowledge is being put into the data so that the decision makers can have a look on it and take decisions. The learning knowledge sharing is essential for fostering innovation. If we want to innovate new techniques, we need to have real-time data. For bringing in adaptive and continuous improvement within organizations. So there are major 3 points for facilitating learning and development. What will happen is, one is fostering innovation, second is bringing in adaptability, and the third one is continuous improvement in the organization. So what will happen when we include these 3 points? Then our teams will be updated. They know everything what is happening in the ground, and they know what is the company's plan. They have the knowledge of both sides. They have the company plans, they have the evaluation reports. Now, what will have to be done is being shared to each employee of the organization. So they get updated in real time. And this will help the organization to give necessary skills to the employees who are lacking it and collectively contribute to the growth of organization. So knowledge sharing helps to upskill the employees and upskill the organization. Next point. Adaptability to dynamic project environment. What is meant by dynamic project environment? A project may never have single project environment. They have multiple, maybe multiple things may adapt. So they have to adapt to multiple situations, multiple challenges, multiple opportunities, multiple tasks. So an organization need to have very dynamic situation to face when they get into the market or when they get into the field, whatever. So adaptability is a dynamic project environment, which is crucial because it allows organizations to navigate changes, foreseen challenges, and evolving situations. So this adaptability to dynamic environment brings 3 things in front of the organization. One is it can navigate through the changes. When changes happen, it can go through the changes. Second point is it is able to handle unforeseen reasons. So, unforeseen challenges. It may be climate change, it may be a disaster, it may be a strike, it may be an economic problem, anything. But what the organization is able to do is they are prepared to handle these type of changes. And the last point was evolving circumstances. The change, as we know, market conditions, market change on a day-to-day basis. If one organization or a company is not ready to change with the evolving market, they will definitely fail. We can give clear examples for these type of evolving changes. First is, we know Nokia company. They were the world's #1 mobile company about 10 years back, 10 or 15 years back. They were using 2G phones. When the Android came in, they are not ready to adapt to the evolving situation. They thought we are the #1 company and no technology, nothing can beat our phones. That was their thought. But when we see now, after 10 or 15 years, where is Nokia now? Nokia is completely out of market. Once they had 90 to 95% of the market share. Now, what is their market share? I think it is below 5%. So adaptability to dynamic project environment is crucial for every organization. How the organization get to know this all through monitoring and evaluation. So monitoring and evaluation is very crucial for all organizations. Now, the important role of M&E in decision making. What is actually decision making? We had already planned a project or software, anything. But when an evaluation team brings in real-time data, which is evidence-based, it is not calculated. When we have a business plan, we have some calculations. Okay, we will achieve such and such things, such and such thing in a time frame, maybe monthly basis or 2 year, 3 year, or we will come back in every month, 30 days plan, 3 months plan, 6 months plan. We have executed all the plans, but it is not based on evidence. But what evaluation team brings in is evidence-based real-time data, which will help the directors, board of directors, to make good decisions. We can affect the profit of the company. Okay, next. What important role of decision making, I'm saying. This monitoring evaluation will provide real-time data, insights, identification of challenges and opportunities, rise resource allocation, make strategic adjustments. Okay, look how a monitoring and evaluation report can affect the decision making. First point is real-time insights, which we can't get when we are seated in a seat inside an office. It is the real-time data from outside. So real-time data, what is real-time data actually? It is a continuous data offering real-time data about project progress and performance. The decision communicated with the project process and performance. The second is identification of challenges and opportunities. The challenges and opportunities is typically include ensuring data accuracy. Point number one is data accuracy, addressing resource constraints. Sometimes decision makers are not aware that they have resource constraints, even though they have business plan in their hand and they are implementing a lot of things, but they never address resource constraints directly from the office. For that, they need data back to their office, which is done through M&E, monitoring and evaluation. It also helps stakeholder engagement and adapting to new project environments. Suppose an organization is expanding to other place, from one country to another or one place to another, they need to understand the place, understand the market, understand the business. For all these things, they need right real-time data, which is provided by the evaluation team. Also, they will be made aware of what is happening in the technological world through technology advancements. We know what is happening with the AI right now. AI is actually dismantling many businesses across the globe. If we are not aware of what is happening, we will fail in our business. So better we will have a right identification of these challenges, and we can convert these challenges into opportunities. There is a story about a company. I don't know the name of the company. Many people say different names, but I don't know. I don't want to get into the name of the company. 100 years back, a company had sent 2 persons to Africa. The first person came back to the company and reported that there is no scope for shoes in Africa just because people don't wear shoes. You understand? After 1 month, they had sent the second person. What second person told is, sir, there is lot of opportunity because there is no competitors for our product. We have to just educate the people that they need to wear shoes or chappals, whatever it is. So that is how we can, that's the difference between a challenge, how we see, how we have the insights. If we want to see it as a challenge, we can do it. If we want to change that challenge into opportunity, that's all we can do. So it is the identification of these challenges, and it is the duty of the decision makers to change the challenges into opportunities. The next point is right resource allocation. The right number of resources is needed for every company or organization to survive. For that, monitoring and evaluation enables allocation, which involves some process like prioritizing these projects, optimizing resource allocation, setting up clear objectives, and utilizing the resources available. Suppose we don't have enough resources and we are not able to bring in resources for the next 2 or 3 weeks. What will happen if decision makers are not aware of the situation? Business will have problems. But if the evaluation team is giving real-time data to a decision maker and saying, oh, sir, look, after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we will be having shortage of our resources. So we should plan now to get allocation of resources after 2 weeks so that, we can purchase resources or get the resources immediately from the market or wherever the place it may be available. So it will help the decision makers to make the right decisions, the right choice, and at the right amount for resource allocation. The next thing is strategic adjustments. What is meant by strategic adjustment? Timely feedback allows the company to make adjustments and ensures alignment with project goals, and adapting to changing circumstances. As we know, the circumstances will keep on changing. People who are in trading, they know better, because in a matter of seconds, market will be changing. Some people will make money, some people lose money, some go bankrupt itself. So it is a strategic adjustments is needed. Suppose you are a gold merchant, or some other merchant who is doing business. Suppose a war comes in, just like in Russia. What happens? Our supply chains will be disrupted, and we will not be able to get our products on time. So once this type of catastrophe happens, the companies have to make strategic adjustments. If we are not able to make things from Russia, we will bring it from Europe, or we will bring from other parts of Africa, or from Middle East, or from Asia, India, China, wherever applicable. So for making these strategic adjustments, we need to have real-time data, which is provided by the monitoring and evaluation team. So how this monitoring and evaluation is very important for our organization. The next one is this: what is the distinction between monitoring and evaluation? What is when it comes to monitoring, what actually we do? There are two major questions which being asked usually. First one is, what are activities on track? What are the things we are tracking? What are the tasks we are tracking? Are they on the track? Are they working well? If there is any problems? The second question is, what are the immediate outputs? What is the result? What we get? So monitoring usually gives us two important things. One, whether we are going on as per our business plans. Second one is, what will be our output at the end of each term which has been fixed in the business plan by our decision makers. Major two aspects. Monitoring is actually a continuous tracking of project activities. What is actual purpose of monitoring? The actual purpose of monitoring is giving real-time progress data, whether the company is progressing or not. Just like when we are in school, the school teachers will give us progress report every month, so that our parents will know how we are performing in school. Just like that, monitoring also give a progress report on real time. That is monitoring. Sometimes we may think, is there any time frame for this? Sure. What is the real time frame? The real time frame is the whole project cycle. Because the monitoring will never stop. It will start from the initial stages to the closing of the project. Suppose the project is ongoing, the monitoring will be also ongoing. That question. Now, what are the major methods used for monitoring? The major methods used are data collection. There are a lot of methods we can use for data collection, but we are not going deep into this one. And we will analyze the data. What information brings in through that data. That is analysis. So what monitoring team does, they collect data, they analyze it, find insights, put in paper or computer, send it to decision makers so that they can take decisions. Now, the next one is evaluation. We are discussing about distinction between monitoring and evaluation, and we had discussed about monitoring. Now we will be discussing about evaluation. What evaluation brings into the organization? Three major questions. What we had achieved till date? What is our outcome? Can we improve? Three major questions. What is achieved? What outcomes brought in? What can be improved? So evaluation helps to find the overall project effectiveness of the organization. That's the point. We can create milestones using evaluation. When we have evaluation, we conduct evaluation based on some milestones. We can say, okay, we want to achieve 100 crores business or 500 crores business. What will we do? We will fix some milestones. Once we reach 25, that's the first milestone. The second will be 50. Third will be 75. The fourth will be our 100 crore, 100 million US dollar business. So when we plan a project, we'll also fix milestones so that we can achieve the short milestones, then only we can achieve the final goal. So what are the key concepts we were discussing in the last half an hour or 1 hour? So what is data collection? Second is the collected data is being analyzed. We then had performance indicators like milestones or project plans. When we make quality assurance, what actually the evaluation team does is they are ensuring the quality fixed in our business plans. Then it is being reported back to the organization. So there is actually 5 important concepts connected with monitoring evaluation. First is data collection. Second is data has been analyzed. Then third one is we analyze the performance based on indicators. Then we assure the quality of the task or work which is being done. Then we make a report, send it back to the organization. This is the concepts of monitoring and evaluation. So now there are some scenarios in monitoring and evaluation. First one is project milestone tracking. What is project milestone tracking? It is the result of tracking and improved visibility control and timely identification of process or challenges, facilitating their decision making. The project milestone helps to track improved visibility of our project based on small steps that we were discussing a few minutes ago. Suppose a company need to achieve 100 million US dollar business, and they will make some milestone adjustments. Maybe when they reach 10 million, maybe they reach 25, maybe they reach 50, maybe they reach 75. These are all milestones. Once each milestone is being achieved, it can be tracked. The visibility will be more. Visibility will be easy to. Suppose we are trying to achieve 100 million straight away. Our visibility will be small. Visibility will not be accurate. So each project need to have to fix some milestones so that the evaluation team can get track the milestones. Secondly, provide visibility both to the organization as well as for the monitoring and evaluation team. The next one is program impact assessment. What is impact assessment? When a project or a program is being implemented, there are a lot of type of impacts. As we discussed earlier, it may be a climate impact, it may be a labor factor impact, it may be a monetary impact, it may be something else, it may be a personal impact from the employees. These all impacts has been assessed by the evaluation team. Data will be collected, analyzed, and the impact is being assessed and sent back to the organization. So the program impact assessment is a part of evaluation. The next point is learning from project failure. Sometimes, our plans will fail at any point of time. And what happens is the monitoring evaluation team may or may not be able to find the failure. If they find the failure, they are on track. So when we find a failure in our business plan, we will be able to find out the fact behind the failure. There are a lot of reasons behind a project failure. Maybe resource allocation, lack of resources, lack of skills, lack of money, anything. But when the report comes back to the decision makers, it will help the company, the organization to learn from the failure, correct the failure, and make immediate changes to revamp the failure and bring back the company to a success. What are the benefits of monitoring and evaluation? As we told earlier, it will help in improved decision making. It will enhance the performance of the employees as well as organization. It brings accountability to each and everyone in the organization. It also gives a chance for learning and improvement. If we get new insights, it's also a part of our learning. And in the last, resource optimization, which means the resource allocation at the optical level. So it helps the organization to strive forward. Steps in planning process. The first step in planning process is to establish objectives. How we establish objectives? The first and foremost thing in establishing an objective is to define our project purpose. Why we want to do this project, why we want to do business. That's the first point. The second one is SMART objectives. We know what is meant by SMART. It should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and it also be time bound. That's a SMART objective. The third point is engage stakeholders. How we can engage stakeholders. When we are working on some important factors, we need to talk to everyone in the organization who cares about it and take back opinions and build a common goal to achieve the organizational aspects. That is meant by engaging stakeholders. And the next point is prioritizing objectives and organization. Prioritizing objectives means we need to prioritize our objectives based on a lot of facts. How we will going to prioritize things. We can prioritize things based on the goals of organizations. Checking whether they have the effective resources and make sure the organization want to achieve. The objectives are prioritized based on organizational goals, and these organizational goals are divided back into the employees as their personal goals to achieve by the end of the year or end of the project time. So prioritizing objective based on company's organization goal. So establishing objective have major four factors. One is project purpose, second is SMART objective, third one is engaging with the stakeholders, which includes employees, non-employees, investors, and a lot of other people. Next is the prioritizing of our objectives. Developing performance indicators. How can we develop performance indicators? And there are major 4 points. Identify project objectives. For developing a performance indicator, we need to have to identify project objectives. How we can do it? To figure out what project needs to achieve, we should first understand what the project is all about. We need to understand what the company or project stands for. Then only we can identify project objective. Otherwise, we will not be able to find a clear and correct objective of the organization. The second one is understand SMART criteria. As we discussed earlier, these criteria should be indicators. SMART indicators are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So we should be smart, our company should be smart, and our organization goal also should be smart. The third point is brainstorm relevant metrics. How can we brainstorm relevant metrics? When thinking about how to measure our project, first be clear about what we want to achieve. So we need to identify what we want to achieve and what we are doing right now, and think about the importance of people involved and make sure measurements are specifically done. So for relevant metrics, we need to identify what we want to achieve, what we do right now, what we want to do, and rectify the problems and issues happening with this. The next one is quality wherever possible. Quality where possible means expressing things in a numerical term or measurable quantities wherever applicable. So quantity wherever possible means it's a numerical data for measurement of our project aspects. It's a part of monitoring and evaluation. And the last one is prioritizing key performance indicators. How do we prioritize these key indicators? Key performance indicators are KPIs, which means selecting and giving importance to the most crucial things that directly reflect the success and performance of the project. So key indicators are the key aspects in the project which should be prioritized to achieve organization goals. So these 5 points are very important for developing performance indicators. Now, for all these things, we need to collect data. For selecting data, there are few points to remember. First one is nature of data. What is meant by nature of data? Nature of data means considering the nature of data, it is important because it determines the characteristics, type, and format of information you are dealing with. The nature of data helps us to find the characteristics, type, and format of the data we are using, which is very important for MIND. The next one is resource constraints. What is meant by resource constraints? It means access to available resources, including budget, time, personnel, and feasible methods. This all comes under resource constraints. What are the things? Well, it includes persons, it includes feasible methods, it includes budget, time, and others. So resource constraints is the second one. The third one is appropriate techniques. What are the appropriate techniques we can use? When picking up the right method for a task, we start by understanding what you want to achieve, then the information you want to share, and consider the resource available and how we can achieve this through appropriate technique depending upon the situation. Situations may change. Sometimes, we can collect data over phone. Sometimes we need to go directly into the field. Sometimes we can send a questionnaire. Sometimes we can use a Google form. Sometimes we get a newspaper news about some new techniques. It's all various aspects of data collection. It may be quantitative, it may be qualitative. It's all depend on the situation and need of the organization. The next one is reliability and validity. Ensuring reliability and validity involves implementing consistent and standardized data collection. Training the person's testing on a small scale and minimizing risk and bias. When we are accurate with our data, we are able to validate that data. If the data is not valid, it is of no use to the company, it is no use to the MIE team. So reliability on the data sources is very important. We can't bring data from anonymous sources. We can only bring data from reliable sources, which should be accurate and it can be validated scientifically. Otherwise, that data is not considered as a valid data. The next point is ethical consideration. When we're dealing with the ethical consideration, we think about the environment. Make sure you follow moral guidelines in your field and get permission from the people involved to protect their privacy and treat them fairly. When we are working for MINE, Mounting and Evaluation team, we should be ethical. We should not use inappropriate sources. We should not, hinder others' privacy. We should not make false statements. We should not bring blah blah blah. So the most important factor after reliability and validity is ethical consideration. So we should be ethically based. Our data should be ethically based. Then only we can move forward. And last one is our collection method. Our collection method based on different aspects. It may change from country to country. It may change from team to team, business to business. So each company have their own collection plan, their own, which has been put forward in the business plan itself. So data collection is important based on all these factors. So please check all these factors before we move forward. And the next one is, after we collected all this data based on that for 5-6 points, our next one is data analysis. How we are going to analyze this and get into a report. How can we create a report based on data analysis? And then what are the analytic techniques we are going to do? We choose appropriate statistical or quantitative techniques based on the nature of data and research questions. So the first point is analytic technique, which is selected based on the research question, based on the nature of the data, and the quantitative techniques we use. 3 major points. One is quantitative techniques we use. Second is nature of the data, and the third one is based on research question. The next one is pre-processed data. What we do in pre-process is we clean and organize the data. There maybe, we will shuffle the data sometimes. We will erase the duplicates. We will correct all the mistakes we found, and we address that thing based on real-time data. One second. Next one, coding systems. When we are using quantitative data, we need to create a system which is categorized and analyzed based on patterns. This coding systems is purely based on quantitative data, which is used to create a system to categorize this data which has been collected and which is being analyzed based on various patterns. If we have multiple patterns, we will have to code the system in multiple systems. So we have codings for each and every system based on the patterns. The next one is data visualization. We have raw data in our hand. Suppose we have raw data which has been sent without any analysis by the team and we send across to us. What will happen? We have to look at the numbers, what they have written it down. When we convert this raw data into graph, P chart, or any other graphical format, it automatically becomes easy for us to analyze. So what usually does is we usually convert this data into graphical representation, which is in the form of chart, maybe graphs, maybe circles, which can be easily identified and easily validated. The last point is how we can validate and verify. When we these data can be validated and verified based on equations and formulas, and it is purely based on how and what are the techniques we use. It's all based on a lot of other factors which we can't go deep right now. The next one is reporting and communication. When we report, we create reports, and when we communicate, we should have to know the audience, whom and for what purpose we are making this and sending across. Suppose we have multiple data in our hand, and we interchange the audience. What will happen? We can't validate that data. We cannot validate the purpose also. So the data will be invalid. So when we are reporting and communicating for MI&E, we should understand the audience, we should know the audience and the purpose. Second one is there should be clear and concise messages. If our message is not clear, what will happen? There will be a lot of confusions. We should not send long messages. We should have a summary. Suppose we are giving a report, and for decision makers, if it is not clear, it is not concise, then what will happen? They have to go through the entire report. Maybe it may be 100 or 200, 300 pages. Suppose the MI&E team has given a concise messages on each page, then what will happen? And they give a conclusion at the end. It will be clear for the entire team to understand what communication has been set across. The third point is visualization, which we discussed earlier. When we convert the raw data into chart and graphic representation, we can easily find the results of the data. After finding out data, we need to give key recommendations. Okay, these are the recommendations from an MI&E team. We need to correct this one. We have failed in this area. We have to change our plan. We have to slow down. We have to move faster. Lot of recommendations based on actual facts. There should be communication styles also. Every organization have their own style. They have their own style of reporting there. So what is best to the organization? That organization can decide which style they want to use, which their employees will be easily trained and implemented. And in the last, whatever data we brings in should be documented. If we are not able to documentize the entire report, the entire work will be gone. So the priority should be given for documentation of the full report in the organization, and they should keep it aside for future use. So we are coming to the end of these sessions, and we are discussing about the components of MID planning. As we discussed earlier, there are a few indicators which say one is for proper planning of monitoring and evaluation, we should need to have clear objectives. We should have indicators. They may be milestones. On the way, developing data collection method, we need to collect data, but based on lot of facts, maybe a research question and some other things. Establishing a criteria for evaluation. Creating a evaluation and monitoring plan. There should be an analysis of risk, and we should have a contingency plan. These are the major factors. Once again, I repeat once again, for planning of M&E, we need to have set clear objectives, which is led by the organization. We have to define indicators like milestones. Third one, we need to develop data collection methods based on research questions or patterns we see. Establishing evaluation criteria based on our project or based on the market or whatever stakeholders. Establishing and creating an evaluation and monitoring plan. How we are going to implement this evaluation plan from here. There are some challenges which usually happens with resource monitoring and evaluation. First is lack of resources. There may be lack of resources for the team to find out. Second is quality issues. As we discussed earlier, the raw data is brought in from the field. Sometimes it will not be of no use because it cannot be validated sometimes. It is not the problem of the evaluation team. Sometimes it may happen. We can't say. Every time it will be 100% perfect. So we need to check the quality issues. Now, the third point is when an evaluation team brings in insights, which the decision makers have to compulsory make some changes, then there will be usually a resistance. People usually resist the change management in almost all organizations because people fear change management. When an evaluation team brings in suggestions and recommendations, there will be surely resistance to change. There will be always a complex set of measurements, which mostly the evaluation team have to use one over another. So results based on this complexity may differ from each report to another. So they have to decide whether they will stick on with one or they are going for the complex. And the last one is overcoming challenges. The monitoring and evaluation planning and implementation is a challenging aspect. And for implementing the monitoring and evaluation, they need to overcome the challenges on day-to-day basis. Then only they can bring in good data. They can change the data with graphical representation, with clear instructions, suggestions, and send across to the organization decision makers. Then only they can put forward a good M&E team. So for best practices for MIE, we can set clear goals. As we discussed earlier, this point has been discussed earlier. Still, it's given as a reference. Setting up clear goals, engaging with stakeholders, regular review and adaptation, continuous improvement, and use of technology. So we had reached the end of this presentation. We had gone through the summary of all the key points. you had already understood the importance of planning. The M&E is not a stop for everything. It's a continuous learning process, and it helps for future challenges to be converted into our future opportunities. So thank you for being here, and have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Now I request all the participants to join in the other session. The link is already shared, so you can join in shortly.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
I didn't get what the madam said. Are we supposed to log out then join in the other link?
Yes, yes, you can leave this session, everybody. Now join the another link on the MS Team. You can see I have even shared it in your chat box option. That is the link for another topic. Now you all can join in there.
Sorry, is it shared in the WhatsApp group?
No, it's not in the WhatsApp group. It's in the MS Teams application that you have. Another link that is there.
Okay.
In the
all right.
chat box, you can see that in the chats, you can check.
You're not able to see the chat box because some of us are joining
Okay.
as guests.
Guest. Okay. No problem. You can check it in your MS Team. You'll find it over there.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not able to see it.
You're not able to see your link on MS Team, another link?
Yeah, I'm not able to see it.
Can't you see anything like that is like monitoring and evaluation training day 2?
Let me check.
Equally, I cannot see that.
You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So are you not able to see anything like this? Monitoring and evaluation training day 2? Please check if you all can see it or not. If you don't see that, okay, hold on. I'll get it back to you.
Okay.
Okay, learners, nobody has to go anywhere else. I'm, sharing my screen right away in this session only. So just to confirm if my slide is visible to you or not, we'll take it from forward from where sir has just left in, and we'll start with a new topic. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yes, yeah, that will be fine.
Okay, can anybody quickly confirm if the slide is visible to you all or not?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet up.
It's not. Okay, I'll share it again.
Yeah, now up.
Yes, can you all see?
Yes, yes, we're
Now
able to
it's
see.
visible.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfectly
ma'am.
fine. So let's quickly start and try to cover these slides in minimum time possible so that you don't have to extend much, right? I see that you've already logged in from last almost close to near, 3 hours. So that's a great time. So how you all have been? How has your experience been? Can anybody just quickly share that and then we'll start? Anyone? Your experience so far in today's training from last 3 hours, I would say. Come on, be interactive. Or should I just call out somebody's name and then I have to ask? Anybody can do that. Are you all learning something new in every session from all the persons who are delivering you it? And or something that you're finding interesting? Or maybe you are like, not willing to anything. Okay, Jones, Mr. Jones Chongo, can you share something? Your experience so far in today's session?
Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm definitely glad to have attended this session.
Mm-hmm.
I think every session is bringing something new that I may have not learned or I may have missed in this field. But basically, what I have understood so far is without monitoring a project, you would find that you may not achieve the goals. Why do I say so?
Mm-hmm.
From what I've learned, I have realized to say there are moments when you may be implementing the project, okay, and along the line you may have moved away, you may have gone away from the main objective, you may have trailed away from the goal that the project was intended for. But with the monitoring team to have gone on the ground, they would get their findings, and those findings that will get will now be used by the team or the evaluating part, because after the monitoring has been done, the team to evaluate must go through what the team from monitoring found out. Then from there, they will be able to see whether the project is on course or to some extent you've gone away from what the main objective or the end, the main product of the project was intended for. But all in all, I can literally say it's very much welcomed, and it's improving my way of thinking and even my way of implementing projects and works. So thank you.
Good. It was really very impressive the way you explained everything in detail and understood and got the idea of how exactly you have been into learning so many new things and related to project monitoring and evaluation. So it's great. Okay. Okay, now can you see another link that is there scheduled by the academic team on your MS team? If anybody can see.
Yeah, I think Derek has shared the new link on WhatsApp. For those that are in the WhatsApp group for the academic summit, you find there's a new link that has been shared for MS.
Okay. Then everybody please join that link and we will be connecting through that link now, okay?
So meaning we exit this platform, then we join the other link?
Yes, you can exit this one and join the another link.
The other one, this one which is in the WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could I say something, ma'am?
Yes. Yeah, please.
I would like to say that, ma'am, I wasn't attend fully this class because I have some security issue in the Rohingya refugee camps. Could you share this? Could you share this recorded video in the WhatsApp?
Okay, that would be done by the academic team, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, once the session is over, you will get it from your MS team and you can request the team to give it to you. So don't worry, you will get it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, dear all, again, inconvenience for the confusion, right? We'll be connecting in the same link right away, the way we are already connected. So nobody has to go anywhere else, though the new link was shared with you on your WhatsApp group. But now don't have to worry. You will be connecting with me right in this link. Okay. So I'm sharing my slide and now let's continue. I hope I'm clear on that part. Don't have to join, don't have to leave it. You just have to stay connected here. Is that clear to all?
It's clear. Yes, ma'am, it's
Okay.
clear.
Okay, fine, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So now I hope the slide is visible to you all. Can anybody quickly read what is written over there?
Yes, ma'am. Design of results in monitoring and evaluation.
Correct. Have you already covered this topic so far?
No, ma'am.
No, right. So now let's start and take your, learnings to a next stage and next level, I would say next step basically. So that is like designing of the results. Okay. So now I want somebody to quickly read it. The next slide that is there. Um, okay, Syed, can you do that? Syed Noor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Design of results in monitoring and evaluation. Is it correct, ma'am?
Yeah, absolutely. Read this. Introduction, you
Okay,
can go ahead and just share
thank
all the
you.
points. No, I want you to read this slide now that is visible. Introduction.
No, ma'am.
The-
Introduction slide isn't visible, but here is a title that is.
Is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, Ayar, you can read it now.
It's not visible right now, especially in my Microsoft Teams, but
Okay, can anybody
it
else
may be
see
a
this
network
slide
issue, ma'am.
introduction? Can anybody else see this
Well,
introduction slide?
from my side, I can be able to see.
Yes, I can actually see it.
Okay, who can see that? Please raise your
I'm
hand through your MS Team if I can see and identify who can clearly see the slide introduction. Okay, Oscar. Okay, Oscar, Brian, thank you so much for your responses. Felix, Rosalind. Rosalind, can you read it
Hello.
for everybody?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Introduction. Importance of strategic results, design in monitoring and evaluation. But the font is very small. Then strategic result design is crucial component of monitoring and evaluation processes as it helps organizations to systematically assess and measure the impact of their programs and projects. And the other one is alignment with organizational goal, then clarity in objectives and outcomes, performance measurements, resource allocation, as well as continuous improvement.
Thank you. Now, basically, what we are going to cover in this few minutes that we are left with is the importance of strategic results. Okay, first is like why it is important, because now we are coming on to the topic of designing of results and monitoring and evaluation. Basically, how we are going to design them, or how and why it is important. So this is what we are going to cover. So basically, why it says that these are the points that why it is important. Firstly, we need to understand like why we need to do that. So first point is alignment with organizational goals. So unless and until there'll be alignment with organizational goals, that means they are properly aligned with what the organization want. Our work, no matter what we do and how we are doing it, the approach will always be wrong. So you need to understand that whatever goals the organization has already set, our designs or the results should be according to that, because the way, maybe you are students at some point of time, so you might be preparing according to the content and the syllabus that you have for your particular course or assignment. Only then you know that this is your subject, and then this is the course material from where you have to study, or this is what you have to prepare basically. So that is the same concept that is being applied, that you need to make sure that the organization where you are working, your goals are in alignment to your results. So maybe you should be able to check the vision and the mission of your organization, what they have planned it. Then check and highlight, the resource optimization, ensure that the projects are timely, ready, make all those organizational priorities, and also adapt to organizational changes. So all these kind of things need to be ensured before you go ahead and design your results. Then the next is clarity in objectives and outcomes. So you should be clear with your objectives and outcomes, as in like what will be the outcomes of what we are planning to do. So that also clarity should be there. Then performance measurement. Can anybody throw some light or explain what is performance measurement? Maybe your own insights into it. Anybody? Performance management. What do you understand by simply performance? What performance are we talking about? What measurement are we talking about?
Ma'am, could I say something?
Yeah, please.
As far as I know, ma'am, performance is a actions. Performance are actions which are done by us. Actually, that's performance.
So how
According
can we
to
measure that?
any types of activities, in any types of activities we can perform by its own way.
Okay. Good. So basically, what we are trying to understand in monitoring and evaluation by performance measurement is that there needs to be a systematic collection and analysis of data to access or to check, how the project is doing or where is it going ahead. So we need to define some components. That means, let's say we define some indicators that we have identified that these are the things we need to measure. Then we need to define a particular target, that we will set a target for it, that this is what we need to do, this is what we need to achieve. So we are defining the target, and then collect the data that are we able to achieve that target, or are we able to do that or not, and then analyze the data basically. So the purpose of this is to make better decisions, to measure our qualitative and quantitative work that is being done in the organization, and accordingly prepare our indicators, set the targets, collect the methods, and then work towards the feedback and, again, reporting and for more performance. So that is how it has to be done. Okay, now resource allocation. This is very simple resource allocation. So, collecting resources, be it related to the project on which you are working, be it anything that you are doing basically. So you need resources for that. So that is like resource management or resource allocation rather. Maybe you need some finances, you need some monetary resource, you need some technology to work on. All these are your resources and you need to again allocate them. Then continuous improvement. Now, continuous improvement, again, very important. You need to make sure that your project is going in the right direction. You need to make sure that you are actually achieving your targets, and maybe there is some scope for improvement. So you can work on those weak areas. So even continuous improvement is very important. So I'll just pause here. Is this clear to everybody? These points as to why designing of results in monitoring and evaluation is important. Any doubts so far? Anybody having any doubt, or shall we move on?
Ma'am, could you explain again about the alignment with organizations? What?
Okay. Alignment with organization, like I told you, it simply means that you need to make sure that whatever direction or maybe whatever plans the organization has thought of, maybe on a certain project, that what they want to achieve. So accordingly, you need to plan your strategies, accordingly, you need to plan your decisions. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's move ahead. Now, this was the importance, like similar to the importance, there'll be objectives, as in like what are the objectives of, designing the results. So once we design the results, so why we need to do that or what we need to get out of it. So let's hear it from somebody. Monica Makova, can you please read these points?
Define clear, but it may not look properly.
May I try?
No, hold on. Let
Ma'am?
him try. No, Mr. Syed, let him try. Monica Makova, you can go ahead.
Define clear, objective, understand key concepts in the results, in result design, recognize the importance of aligning result with stakeholder expectations, learn about tools and techniques for effective result design, facilitate evaluation planning, facilitate learning and improvement, enhance communication with stakeholders. Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you. So basically, now these are our objectives, like why we need to design our results. So let's understand the first, like, define your clear objectives. So again, whatever are your objectives, like why do you want to do it, what you want to achieve, you need to make sure that that is being done. And once it is done, you also need to understand certain key concepts that basically, why you are doing it, and maybe there are some important points to be covered. Maybe you need to frame some, results framework, you have some logical framework. So that is what it is all about. Then you understand the key concepts. So like I told you, key concepts would be anything like result based management, indicators, or maybe some stakeholder analysis, and then recognize their importance with the stakeholders expectation. So stakeholders are the people who again are interested in what we are doing, what is the work that we are intended to do, or they need to know the results. So that is very important that you convey your stakeholders that what you are doing, and you need to know their expectations as well. So stakeholder analysis is very important because it ensures that the results reflects your needs, and you can also have your communication strategies to do that. So maybe you can customize communication to different stakeholders, you can openly share your project's progress with them, you can share and set a realistic expectation with them, ensure that the project is meeting their scope objective, and then include the decisions and try to have better decisions accordingly. And then again, like continuous engagement, which is very important. So that is what it is, like stakeholder expectation. Then you need to learn about tools and techniques for effective results design. So there could be many tools and techniques, so that would be covered later on, but maybe for now I can just give you some points like SMART. Okay, I'll write it down here for you. So you can have it like SMART. It's an acronym. Okay. So anybody aware of SMART? Like what does it stand? Maybe quickly throw some light if anybody is aware of it. The full form of SMART in terms of goal setting. What S stands for, what M stands for. SMART. So whenever we set any objectives, okay, so SMART goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So this is how we need to have a SMART criteria and have those tools and techniques and objectives clearly defined. So maybe again, maybe some change of workshops some technology integration can be there. So all those things will have to be able to deliver effective results. And then you need to facilitate planning, learning and improvement, and of course communicating with the stakeholders. So this is what you have to do. So designing of results is not only about designing, but first be clear with the objectives that why you need to do it. And then accordingly, it will save your time and energy and efforts, and you can clearly give it to anybody whosoever is concerned with your results. Is that clear to all? Yes.
Ma'am, yes.
Sure.
May I say, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to say that, ma'am, when you are explaining this concept, learn about tools and techniques for effective result. At that time, your voice wasn't clear a little bit, ma'am.
Okay, I'm simply saying that whenever you design your results, you compile your results, you can only do that through some tools and techniques. So tools and techniques are not covered here as of now, but then you just need to understand that we set smart goals. Okay, so smart goals, once they are set, those goals are measured through the tools. They can be any kind of tools, so that will be covered in the next slides. Okay, so those tools will help you to give better results, and those results can be communicated with the stakeholders. Is that clear? Yeah, I hope that is clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
fine. Now, this is what I was talking about, the tools and techniques, like there could be some frameworks. So first is like results framework. So we call it as a systematic approach. Okay. So systematic approach, maybe you simply define your achieving your targets, you organize the resources, and you simply present the results. So you have a framework for that. Then the next is logical framework. So logical framework is basically wherein you can apply some, mathematical tools, or maybe you can have a planning tool that can give you some project designs systematically, some designs, management, and evaluations like those logics. So that is a log frame. Then the next is results based management. We call it as RBM. So that is again a management strategy that will focus on achieving the defined results that you want and emphasize on your performance and accountability. So these three frameworks, these three tools and techniques basically that I was talking about, they help you to deliver effective designs. Okay, so this is how you can do that. Maybe you can have SWOT analysis that can identify your project strengths, weakness, opportunity. Right? You can have smart goals that can specific, measurable, achievable criteria, so there are so many tools and techniques that you can follow according to which you can achieve better results. Okay. So this is what I was just talking about. Then let me share it again. Now I'm going to show you a case study, okay, that can help you to understand better, like the topic that we're discussing. Okay, can everybody see this slide, case study? Yeah, quickly, yes or no from everybody I can expect. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
It's not
visible. Okay, for those who can, please let's continue. And for those who cannot, maybe hold on, your internet might be slow or something. Okay. Now, this is a case study
Yes.
related to designing of results and monitoring and evaluation for a community health program. So, case studies for a community health program. Now, case study could be for anybody, right? It's just a sample, it's just a case study for you to understand this topic thoroughly in a better way. Now, see, background of it. Now, the background is the story behind it. Okay, so now you just assume that we're discussing a case study, of course we are, but maybe whenever I'm reading this, we can immediately imagine simultaneously, like what is it basically? So the story begins like a community health organization implemented a program aimed at improving maternal and child health in a rural region. And then this monitoring and evaluation system was designed to assess the impact of the program and ensure its effectiveness. So I hope you got the background of like the community health program was, started, and the aim was to, now measure that how much is the effectiveness, or maybe how they are doing well in the rural region for which they have planned it for, like related to maternal and child health. So are they able to achieve it, or are they able to do that or not? So that was done through this monitoring and evaluation system. So what did they do? Or how did they measure that? So they have some objectives. So now, because we are clear with what they wanted to do, so you also have to set your objectives. Like I told you, alignment with your organizational goals. So the organizational goal was to improve the maternal and child health in a rural region. So now let's see what and how they defined their objective. So their objective was to evaluate the program's progress in reducing maternal and child mortality rates. So they need to check that how much is being reduced. Then second objective that they've set was assess the effectiveness of various interventions such as pairing paternal care, immunizations, and health education. So some kind of additional, you know, parameters that were added. So they tried to set it as an objective that they want to check on this. Then the last objective was that they need to identify the areas for improvement to inform future decision making. Like what would be improved better in our next programs. So they set those three main objectives, and now the next step was the to again have some indicators. So I was talking about to have some indicators with you. So the indicators that they thought of you to help them measure these objectives or achieve these objectives is develop specific indicators aligned with program goals. So that also needs to be related to program goal. Now we are talking about health, community health program. So their goal was percentage increase in prenatal care attendance and immunization rates. So because they wanted to measure that. So that is their indicator. So something you want to measure becomes your indicator. And then you define those metrics for each indicator that maybe you have some Likert scale that on a scale of 1 to 5 you want to rate something. So that becomes the same thing. Then the next step they followed was the data collection method. So they collected data on that. So they collected data through some quantitative and qualitative data collection methods by surveys, interviews, focus groups, and discussions, and then implemented regular health facility assessments to check and collect those data. Okay, so this is how they collected the data. Then the next is to manage the data, like data management. So implemented a robust data management system. You can have various softwares for that to organize the data that they have collected, they've stored it, and then they analyzed it. And once those analysis was done, they reported the framework. That means they designed a comprehensive reporting framework that included those internal and external stakeholders that we were talking about, people who are interested to know the results of the project. And this you can do anytime, maybe monthly, quarterly, annually. After doing that, we need to communicate it, communicate the results. Now, how you can communicate the results? Through some data visualization tools, like maybe charts, graphs, and then develop your user-friendly dashboards. Quickly give somebody the overview of how you are doing. So that is visualizing and communicating. And after that, you establish a feedback loop because you want those stakeholders to give you the feedback as well. That how was the project? Okay, or maybe they have some other expectations. And then the last is learning and adaptation. So again, you leave some scope for further improvement, and you can use those evaluation findings to adapt and improve the program. Maybe the next time the health campaigns would be improved, the community health program can have better options and other objectives. So this is what they do. Then the next is data quality. So sometimes there might be some issues with the data quality. So maybe we need to find out like what is the challenge. So the challenge over there was like their challenge, because we are doing a case study, their challenge was inaccurate or incomplete data. Like the data was not complete. So what they did, they conducted regular training for data collectors and implemented data validation check. So this is how they worked on that problem. The next problem or the challenge they had was community engagement, because people were not ready to participate, though it was a community health program, but people not ready to do that. So how they overcome that? That is like they strengthen community involvement through participatory approaches and community-led evaluation. So you need to spread a word of mouth that why it is benefiting you and why you need to attend it. So that is how they improve. Then the next challenge they had was resource constraints. So they were limited resources for monitoring and evaluation. So what they did, they prioritized some indicators, right? Then they explored the data collection methods, and then they took help from external partnerships, maybe through some stakeholders, that maybe how they are doing it. So this is what actually I told you, like monitoring and evaluation is all about. Like, to have your defined objectives, then objectives, you define your indicators, then after the indicators, you have your data collection done, then data you need to analyze, define it, framework, communicate it, and then leave some scope for feedback and continuous evaluation. And then of course find out all the challenges and try to overcome them to improve better in the next one. Okay, so this is what the lessons were learned from the case study, like demonstrate how this monitoring and evaluation system improved or influenced program improvements, and then highlight lessons learned and best practices for future monitoring and evaluation design and implementation. So this is it. So I hope this health community program case study is clear to all. You got some idea basically, like that practically how it is being done. Is that clear?
Yes, madam.
Now let's take it
Yes,
forward.
ma'am.
Importance of result
Thank you
design.
for great explanation.
Thank you. So
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for great explanation.
thank you.
Yes, okay.
Now importance of results design. Now so far you understood like how to do that monitoring and evaluation and why it is important. So why it is important? It ensures clarity in project objectives, like the project was health
Yeah,
right?
understanding.
Community health program. So ensures clarity about it. Okay, then facilitates effective monitoring and evaluation, enhances accountability, transparency that you can give to your stakeholders, clarity of purpose, why you need to do it, resource optimization, gathering resources and managing it optimally, monitoring and evaluation frameworks that you can set, learning and improvement, of course, some scope for feedback, and then take better decisions. So this is why designing of results after monitoring and evaluation is important. Now, I will be just taking you forward, through some important points, detailed points, some concepts that are there. And I want somebody to read it. Okay, any volunteer to read these points? Volunteer. Just raise your hand. Quickly raise your hand. These points are very important. Maybe something new. Okay, Oscar, TG, ask them. Okay, I'll give a chance to TG Azim. Azim, you can read it. Detailed points.
Okay, I wish you all the advice, which is alright in the class side, and also for me. For me, it is a great opportunity for me to find out and to raise details of plans. So let me go ahead. Can I go ahead, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
If so, yes, let me go ahead. Details points. Details points. Choice of chance. He always did. Sorry, it is not called a forest knowledge lesson because it is really hard for me to reach out and to find something special one. So can you try again for me? Hello, can you hear me? I think the select and the cultural are not really powerful, especially for the cultural. It is not region. I cannot read properly. So what can I do?
I can't get you, Azim. Could
Hello?
you please tell me what is the challenge?
The thing is that the flowers, I mean, the flowers and the cats are really out of code. I can't read it properly. If I zoom it in my mode, okay, how about let it go and let's happen what's happening. Just let me go right. First option is TOSA. Definitions is compre compre comprehension, descriptions and illustrations of how, why, desire, sense is the experience to happen in partial, sorry, what is it? Partial content or analyze. So it's analyze important and actual challenge and develop majority aspect. Balance data. Balance data especially and just establish a choice based from the measuring chance and impact. Alignment with the alignment with the sector's order. Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Alignment with stakeholder expectations.
Yeah, but the thoughts are not properly clear for me because it is really hard. I mean, it is not hard, but the way trying to read it properly is the way I cannot find out because it is trying. If I zoom it to my mind, it to my point and to my point of view, then it will come out darkly and it cannot find out properly. So what can I do? But after being a reader, I cannot edit properly. Sorry, and I'm so sorry for that.
Can you see the last point and read it?
Okay, all right. Gender scientist, results design emphasizes includes and considers the resource importance of projects on the different gender groups within the community. Once again, embrace inclusive. Consider the resource importance of projects on the different gender groups within the community.
Thank you. I like your effort. We will, thank you so much. Now, okay, I'll just quickly make it clear to all that first is like the theory of change. Now, this is a concept, basically, theory of change that basically talks about like whenever you are trying to, describe something in detail and, you're presenting it. So there might be a situation like how and why a desired change is expected to happen in a particular context. So we call it as a theory of change. So something in detail and described, properly about your expectation of your change in your project, clearly expected and defined. We call it as theory of change. Then you need to anticipate the challenges you might have to develop your good approaches or strategies. So we call it as risk analysis. Then when you establish a point to measure those changes and impact, you call it as the baseline data. And when you are making your expectations in alignment with stakeholders' expectations, then you need to ensure that they are, meeting, or rather you are meeting your expectations with them, or they are meeting their expectations with you. And then the last is gender sensitive results design. So considering the diverse impacts of projects on different gender groups, we do them. Based on related to the genders, you can have and design your results accordingly to whom you are communicating. If it is only to males, then you can design your designs and results analysis in such a way that you are communicating it to. So this is how you can do that. Okay. Then one thing is like quality assurance, that how to ensure that and why to ensure that it is important. So rigorous quality assurance and data collection is important because it ensures reliability and validity of collected data. That whether you have collected the right data, whether it is reliable, whether it is right or wrong. So that is why quality assurance is important. Then the next concept is adaptive management. Now, adaptive management basically use monitoring and evaluation findings for timely adjustments and improvements. So constant management should be there, constant and consistent monitoring should be there. So we call it as adaptive management. And then the last is communicating results. So we are communicating results to our stakeholders and to the people concerned. So you need to customize, or we call it as tailor your communication to the people to whom you are communicating it basically. So according to them, you need to tell them, because it enhances your transparency and accountability that yes, what they asked you to do, you have done it, and now this is what you have achieved, and they can also see that data. So that is what is known as communicating results. Okay. Now at the end, now again, when we talk about the topic that we've covered was results designed is crucial for project success. We know that very well for any project. Involvement of stakeholders. Again and again, I'm emphasizing on stakeholders because their involvement is equally important, and even you can achieve your results well in advance if they know like what they want. And last is adaptive management ensures ongoing project improvement. So like adaptive management, I told you that there should be continuous monitoring and evaluation to further improve and make all these adjustments. And that is why your ongoing project improved as in that. Okay. So I hope you all have understood this. Is there any doubt to anybody so far? Yes. Is this clear to all?
Well, all right. Thank you for your concept view and original way. As a result, it is, I think it is one of the translation, which is already points out by the key points. Through Richard's questions or through Richard's favor. I think it is it is one of the important things for the researcher who are recharging day by day, and it is also one of the points out for the ones who are also keeping art as a key point. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your explanation is great. Thank you so much.
And if anybody has any doubt, please, the time is short, we need to wrap up for the session. So you can mail your queries to me, that is not a problem. If anything is not
I'm sorry for
covered,
that. I'm not clear from my side because my network issue is very rare in the Bangladesh especially. Therefore, I can't speak with you clearly.
no problem. Is anybody having any other doubt, or if something is, you feel you're not clear with, please you can mail it to me, your queries. So that is not a problem. I'm sharing my mail ID with all of you because we need to wrap up with the class, right? I have covered my